In the past 3 years, one of the dominant forces in the rent-to-own market in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of North Texas was a company called Divvy Homes, D-Y-I-I, no, yeah, whatever, I'll spell it later. Anyhow, between them and the Home Partners of America, they probably had 90% of all market of rent-to-own homes in our area. Home Partners of America, to the best of my knowledge, is no longer with us. I think they still have some renters in, but as far as the company itself, it's been a while since I've heard anything about them. Divvy Homes in 2023 transformed into from being a pure rent-to-own program that actually bought homes for you. They transformed into a program that held a lot of homes that they bought in 2021, 22. And what they did is, if any of those homes became available, because the tenants just did not want to continue with the program, they would put those homes back as available with rent to own. Their stock was very strong at that time because they had a lot of homes coming out of 2023. And back in 2023, you could probably search between anywhere 20 to 50 homes available at the same time for rent to own in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at all kind of price ranges. But now we're in 2025 and their supply of available home is dwindling. And as a result, they're becoming less and less and less of a player. But it is still something that I recommend people to look at just in case they have something in stock that you might be interested in. Let me go ahead and do a share. Okay, so this is the Divvy Homes website, DIVVY. And this, if you search for Divvy Homes/search/Dallas, you'll be able to find the same page. And I'm going to post a link to it too. But as you can see right now, they only have 4 homes available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And one of them is in White Settlement, the cheapest one, the one at $2,000 per month. One of them is in Providence Village, which is close to Denton right here. One of them is in Forney, and one of them is in a South Dallas, DeSoto area. Those are all the homes that they have available at this moment, and this is June of 2025. And their price ranges are, assuming that you have about 650 to 700 credit score, are $2,000 per month, $2,000 per month. Now note that this is 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet. $2,200 per month and $2,500 per month. So we have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. As you can see, there is not a lot of choice. However, just in case one of those homes could work for you, I would recommend that you periodically check in with Divvy using this link, and I'm going to post it later in the description. So how does Divvy Homes work? The way that they work is slightly differently, and I mentioned it in several of my videos. So let's just take this home that is marked at $1,990 to $1,000 per month, and it is in White Settlement, Texas. So the way that they're different is how they approach their savings plan. In most cases, when you're going to do a rent to own, there will be no savings plan of any kind. Your entire monthly payment is going to go toward the rent. None of it will be preserved for you. You will not be able to use any of that money toward the purchase of the house. The only thing that you will be using toward the purchase of the house, in most cases, 99% cases, is going to be the initial deposit that you made. With Divvy Homes, it is slightly different. Divvy Homes has what they would call a savings target. And the way that they handle this is on top of your regular rent. So this is your regular rent, $1,900, $2,000 per month. All of this amount, in turn, $2,000 per month, going toward your rent, and that doesn't change. What does change is that depending on your credit score, they force you to be into different saving plans. So they have saving plans at 5% of the down payment and saving plans at 10% of the down payment. What that means in practical terms? It means that let's just say your base rent is $2,000. If your credit score is 650 or higher, so 650 or higher, this is your monthly payment. None of it goes toward the purchase of the home. Let's just say that let's just say that your credit score is below 650. Let's just say it's 600 to 650. In that case, they make it mandatory for you to pay, instead of $2,000, they make it mandatory for you to pay $2,200 per month, out of which $1,900 go over toward your monthly rent payment, and $210 per month go toward a savings account. So your rent still does not count. Your rent still doesn't contribute to your purchase, but the extra $210 per month on top of your rent do. Let's just say that you might have additional situations, like maybe you're self-employed, or maybe your ITIN instead of social security number. In that case, they they put you into a different savings program, and that savings program is called 10% savings program, which means that 10% of this amount need to be collected at periodic increments, which means that instead of paying $2,000 per month, like 650 plus credit score people do, you're going to be paying $2,500 per month, almost $2,550, out of which $1,990 will go toward your rent, and let's just say $550 are going to be put into a savings account. So the money that go for rent, the $2,000, $1,990, always disappears without a trace. Whatever is in your Divvy savings plan, which is a separate account that they will start for you, that's what's going to go toward your purchase of the home in the event that you decide to purchase the home. What if you decide not to purchase the home? In that case, you're going to lose your initial deposit that you gave them, the entire deposit, which is 2%. Let's see how it works out. Okay, so let's just say in an ideal scenario, you're 650 FICO score or above. In that case, your initial payment is going to be $4,730, and that deposit, excuse me, is non-refundable. If you decide to exit the program, you will not be able to get the deposit back. However, anything that you accumulated in your Divvy savings plan, let's just say you stayed with the program for 1 year. In your savings plan, you should have your initial payment of $4,730 plus about $2,400 worth of Divvy savings. So in that case, if you decide to proceed with your purchase, and you obtain a loan and you're purchasing the home in which you are been renting to own, then both this amount and this amount, the Divvy savings plan amount, they both go toward your down payment and closing costs. But if you decide to exit the program and not to proceed with owning the property in which you reside, in that case, you're going to lose this $4,730, but you will be able to withdraw all the money in your Divvy savings account. So that's how it works. The lowest credit scores I think that they have are 580. The best, but if you're in with 580, you're probably going to be here paying $2,200 per month for a 1,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1956 older home in White Settlement. You could probably rent the same home for $1,500 to $1,700. In my opinion, if your credit score is below 600, rather than going with Divvy Homes, either go through me finding a home on the MLS, or just continue to rent, because if you continue to rent at, let's just say, $1,700, you are not going to be spending $2,200 per month for a house of this condition and for a house of this age. And also your 47, almost $5,000 are not going to be at risk of being lost if you decided not to stick with that specific house when you're finally qualified for a loan. That's all I currently have about Divvy Homes. It's a good program. What I like about this program is that they're reliable and they're predictable. They don't have a lot of choices. They're very expensive for the quality of homes that they provide, but they're reliable and trustworthy. And that counts for a lot in the today's world. So if one of their home works for you, a location and price wise, I strongly recommend Divvy Homes as a rent-to-own program. But unfortunately, as you have seen already, it's not that easy to find a home, specifically in a location and the price range that you're looking at. If you are, sorry, I thought I was still sharing. No, I'm not sharing anymore. But anyhow, so to me, I do not know if there will be a lot of business for Divvy Homes in the upcoming years simply because the number of available homes is dwindling and they're not adding to it. That means that their program is slowly dying down, so to speak. And that probably has some effect on their services, responsiveness, support, etc. Anyhow, that's all I have for today for this video. This was video on Divvy Homes. And if you stick around, I'm going to talk about my experience with Utopia Homes next and show you what Utopia Homes offers before we look at the alternatives to both Divvy and Utopia Homes. See you at the next video.